We're starting. We are live. Welcome to the Sound Chamber. I'm Alan Levine, and I'm going to flip over my camera to introduce you to my audience. Say hi, Mariana.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. This is just I'm using Google Hangouts to do a little screencast. So Mariana is here because I'm going to teach her how to manage the daily creates. Because I'm quitting. No, just kidding. But I wanted to set up a little screencast to explain some of the things that go on to make the Daily Crate work. And so Mariana will be doing some of that. So this is for her sake and other people. So I'm going to switch to a screen share. I'm going to run through a couple of things really to try to give you a sense about all the little bits and bobs, as they say in the UK, that one has to do. So I'm going to flip on my screen share. Right now we're going to go over to the Daily Create. And now I'm here. This, of course, is the public view today. Hey, that's my photo standing in the corner of Winslow, Arizona. But all the action goes on, of course, inside the WordPress dashboard. So every daily create is a post, like writing a blog post. And so I've edited the menu, so instead of saying post here on the left, it gives you access. So all TDCs, if you're going to create a new one, scheduled, which shows you the order of progression, and ones that people have submitted. Those are the main links that you need to deal with. So just to let you know, the way the Daily Crate is set up, they're written in advance, so they're automatically published. I think the time is 5 a.m. Eastern Time. They're tweeted, and then I have a repeat tweeter that repeats that tweet 2 more times at 8-hour intervals during the day. So if you just look at the scheduled TDCs, that gives you a sense about the way things are stacked going on. So right now I have things scheduled out till the first one here is July 29th. So it's kind of sitting in the queue, so it's not on the site until we get to that date. And so there are about, it's about 7 here. And if you ever come in here and there's none, that means there's none set to go, and you might have to do one really quick. I think I would like to write something that will send a little notification warning when the tank gets empty, like in your car. You get a little warning when the gas tank is low. But to understand the Daily Create as it is now, things are divided into categories based on the type of Daily Create. And so the easiest way to understand it is just as the admin, often I just create my own new Daily Create. So I'm going to add a new Daily Create, and it comes up like a post. And so my title is going to be It's All Shiny. Make an interesting photo featuring metal. So again, the title is important because that's what goes out in the tweet. So you don't want it to be too long, but in some sense you want it to sort of capture the essence of the Daily Crate, and that should be all it needs. Sometimes you can add extra information. Sometimes it's links. Sometimes it's just to explain the prompt a little bit more. So I might say gold, metal, silver, tin. This is not maybe the greatest example, but sometimes there'll be a link as a reference. Now the main thing that you want to do here is on the right hand side, this controls all the settings, which turns it from a blank blog post like right now. It doesn't have a pretty URL. So you pick what kind of assignment this is. So this is photography. And then what this does is it automatically makes sure it's going to have the next tag available. And I don't know why I have that box there, confirm this overwrite, but leave that on. And then here's the key step. You want to save it as a draft, because what that's going to do is going to change a bunch of the settings. So first of all, you can see that it's added to the post. Here's the original thing that I wrote, but it's also added these particular prompt. This is the prompt for a photo prompt, and then it's checked the appropriate categories. So every Daily Create assignment goes in the TD assignments category, but there's also a category for the type of media. And then just so you know, it does things like it automatically adds the tag TDC 934. It sets some of the That controls which of the headers appears in the daily create, so it's got the photography heading. And then it also adds some of this extra information, which you probably never need to deal with. But this menu, which is now gone because we saved it, does a lot of the formatting for you. And you can also see that it's also written out the link. It shouldn't have that -2 there. That's because I was playing before. But it'll automatically create a URL. So a published daily create should always be something that's TDC /TDC and then the number of the daily create. Now for a photography one, there's kind of special things about each kind of assignment. So photography and drawing both use Flickr. So it creates the prompt. It creates the message that tells you what the tags to use. It automatically puts in 934. But see, now it has this thing called Insert AFG Gallery. This is kind of the one piece that's not automated. So you have to create a little bit of code that inserts the little display that shows everybody's contributions. If you ever publish one and it still says Insert AFG Gallery, that means you forgot, and I've done that several times. You can always go back and edit. So I'll show you the way I always go about doing that. There's like 3 things you have to make sure you do. So I always go up here and I copy this tag. So I'm going to copy TDC 934. And over here on the left is this thing called Awesome Flickr Gallery, and that's the plugin that we use. So I'm going to use my Command key, and I'm going to hold it down and click Add Gallery, and that's going to open up this in a new tab, and this is going to allow me to add a new sort of Flickr display item for this particular daily create. You don't have to worry about most of this stuff. I basically put in the TDC 934 is the gallery name. I put it in the description. This is the key thing. Under Flickr settings, you want to make it tags, and then you put that tag in there. So that says it's going to pull from Flickr anything that's tagged TDC 934. For some reason, it always doesn't give us the default, so I uncheck this, and I always put 24 in here. It's not critical if you forget. And then you just go and click Add Gallery. And then that's going to spin around the browser twice. And right at the top here, it's going to tell you Gallery TDC created successfully. Short code for this gallery is, and you just go in there and you copy that. That's known as a short code. And we go back to our post here, and we're going to do create that gallery. And then all we do is update. And then basically that's all done. I can test this, do a view. I did Command again, so it opens in a new tab. So this allows you to look at your daily create, and it will have the whole prompt here. It won't show the gallery because, of course, no one's done anything on it yet. But that's the basic process for doing a photography or a drawing one. So when you're adding these things, I'll do another one here. Again, to start a process, if we wanted to do a drawing one, we could select drawing from here. Drawing and photography are again pretty much similar. If we want to do an audio one, so let's just say make a wild animal sound that is scary. We're going to go and click audio, same process. I'm not going to add anything to this one. And again, save draft is the first step. That's probably the most critical thing. And again, it's made a permalink. It's incremented itself to 935. I did forget to show you that automatically it sets the publish date for July 31st. That's next day available at 5 a.m. Never have to touch that. That just gives you an idea when it's going to be published. Now, audio is a problem because of the way SoundCloud works. You have to create a group within SoundCloud, and then there's some embed code that you add here. Unfortunately, SoundCloud only lets you create one group per account. So I've ended up creating lots of fake SoundCloud accounts just for the purpose of creating that one particular item. Or sometimes you can find someone who's never done it. So Rowan Peter recently requested an audio daily create, and he had never created a group, so he went and did this. So I'll just show you what happens in SoundCloud. I'm not going to create it for this particular one. Hopefully I'm still logged in. Yes, I am. And I should have actually planned this out because I forgot where SoundCloud puts its groups. Let's see. Oh, groups. There you go, under my name. Um, these represent the different groups that have been that I've actually joined. I haven't created these yet. So there's a way within SoundCloud that I'm not going to go through now to create a group. We're hoping to change the Daily Crate so it doesn't depend on SoundCloud. But basically, when you go to a group, or if someone has created one for you that you can use, all they need to do is create a group called TDC, whatever the TDC is. So this was 935, and you would go through. You don't even have to be the person who created the group. You just want to go through and get the embed code, which is right here, and just copy that. And then we would go back here and paste it over this particular embed code. I'm not going to do it right now because I actually didn't create a proper group, but I will. This one's still in the queue, and so I can leave it here, and I can come back later and insert the proper SoundCloud, just as long as I remember to do it before it goes live. So that's creating a sound or audio one. The most complicated. I'll talk about my strategy for dealing with audio in a second. The next kind, go add new TDC, which is pretty easier. The video is a lot easier. All you have to do is write the prompt. So let's just say, imitate your favorite cartoon character. Be Daffy, or there's another cartoon character I'm forgetting, or Bugs Bunny, or Homer Simpson. This is maybe not the greatest daily create, but I'm doing this live and on the spot. So again, I've written it. Get that period off the end. So this would happen. Sometimes imitate your favorite character. Let's do something different. Imitate your favorite cartoon character reading a somber poem. So Porky Pig would be a good one. I'm stuck on my Warner Brothers cartoons. So I've created this as video. All I need to do for now is do save draft. And it will publish everything that it needs. It's got the instructions for uploading to YouTube. Although it says to use the tags, YouTube broke the tags, but basically put TDC 936 in the video title. One small thing, if it ever comes up when you publish a daily create and you see videos that aren't related, if you go to YouTube, let's just go to YouTube and just go to youtube.com. There's a way you can remove videos from showing up in the plugin. So if for some reason someone put Mr. Frizzle in the mix, which is actually a great video, all you need to do is copy this part, which is the code ID. And then if you go back to here, put in the video blacklist, any one of these separated by commas, it will restrict those videos from showing up in the gallery. So that's just a little gem of a bit. So I could preview that, go over here, and just you will see, hopefully this comes up. Generally, it's probably good to preview your stuff. So it's got the video header, imitate your favorite cartoon character reading a somber poem, and then it's got all the instructions. So that looks pretty good. I tend just to update it just to make sure. This is going to be in the queue for August 1st, 2014. And then the other one that's really easy to do is the writing prompts, because they don't really need any kind of media. So write a story about your breakfast cereal and a superhero character. I hear you giggling. I literally did not plan these out. So the writing prompt one, we would select that. Explain the relationship. It's always good to give the writing ones a little bit more prop of the kind of cereal to the superhero powers. So I might write a story about how Spider-Man eats Captain Crunch and what the relationship is. You can do things here. You can embed media. So I've done writing prompts that I put a picture in there, like the one today was standing on a corner of Winslow, Arizona. So you can put a video, like you write in a blog post, or a picture in there as sort of the prompt for writing. But I like writing because they're pretty easy to do quickly. So this one's in the mix now, TDC 937. It's going to go out August 7th. If we go out to our scheduled TDCs, we'll see right now that these ones that I added are now, they're listed, the most farthest out in time is at the top. So if you want to find out what's coming up next, this is the one that's coming up. I think it's contributed by someone who's in this Hangout. All right, so that's creating them from scratch, and that gives you an idea about how you go about creating them when you just want to put them in there. Now we have people who will, we really want to, will hopefully go to the site, and every now and then you sort of need to do a little bit of maybe nagging people to suggest daily creates. So we have this form where we ask people to create daily creates, etc., and they will come into the mix here. If I go down to submitted TDCs, this represents all the ones that people have submitted. They already have a category assigned to them. So, so what's basically, if you say I want to put this one into the mix, let's just say I choose this one. So when I go to edit it, it's going to come in. It doesn't have a pretty daily create URL because I haven't saved it yet. So take a photo that proves your membership into blah, 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 post on Flickr. It's got a URL in here. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to take a look at it. And this is just sort of the process. Start of the Fontology cult. Oh, it's a secret cult. So that looks pretty interesting. Oh, I see. They've got people who've edited their Twitter names. Take a photo that proves your membership and post to Flickr. Well, it's already going to have the post to Flickr part. Create a photo that proves your membership in this esteemed society. And yes, I know that's spelled wrong. Curious how? Check out a tutorial. So generally, raw URLs aren't very good in here, and of course you can't edit that on the form. So that's why I come in and I modify all this bit here. So I've got the prompt formulated, but it won't turn into a daily create till I decide that I want to make this a photography one. So I'm going to go in photography. I'm going to save it. And then it's going to do all the other things. So it's added to the whole prompt here, the whole prompt to upload to Flickr. It's got this part, so we should know what to do here.
I can tell you. Can I tell you to see if I got it?
No.
Oh.
No time for questions yet. Don't interrupt me. I'm tutorializing. So basically, I mean, this is a repeat, but again, photos, I find photos are the ones that people most respond to in writing. Videos, people, it just takes more work to do a video. People tend to do less videos, and no one likes the sound of their voice. So, but the audio ones are good, and it's good to have a mix of things. So I would say generally, the ratio is, about photos are the most common in writing, photos, and then maybe drawing, because there's really not a whole lot of difference between drawing. So I'm going to copy this in here. That's going to go down. A couple other things that you should know. A lot of these custom fields, and if you don't see custom fields, I forgot to mention this, you may have to go into screen options and make sure you've checked this box to show custom fields, because otherwise you won't see it, and you'll say, what's wrong with my WordPress? because Alan said this was here. There are two things that get added when people fill out the form with their name. Their name gets put into this variable called TDC, and then their TDC handle goes into here. Sometimes people won't add this, or if you write them yourself, they won't appear in here. So you can actually add a new custom field. So you can go down and select the TDC name and add a value for that, and TDC Twitter and add a value for that. It just writes the little credit screen at the bottom. So I'm going to update that one. It's going to go into the mix August 3rd, 2014, and that goes on. And then last, I'll show you for what I do a lot of times with the audio ones that come in, because they're such a pain in the butt to do. So here's one. Stick a song in someone's end. Hum your worst earword. So I'm going to come in. This one came in as an audio daily create. Stick a song in someone. Hum your worst earworm. So earworms. Look, this one's good. It has. It's got all the information you need. So doctors all earworms. So make that a link. Learn more. WebMD, that's interesting. It's a medical condition. In that case, I just turn the link into a URL. But here's what I do a lot of times is someone suggested this as an audio, but I say, I'm going to override it. I'm going to make this a video. So I'm going to save this as a draft. And now everything has changed to turn this one. And it says, hum your worst video. So make a video humming your worst earworm. So basically, I've took some editorial liberty to convert an audio daily create into a video, and that's sort of my usual end around because doing the audio ones are just such a pain in the butt right now. So that is the process. You can see this came in from Chris Krisman. She put her name and her. This is a good chance to show what happened. She put her her Twitter handle into her name. We can actually get a little creative. I just cut that out, and I'm going to show you how this custom field works. I'm going to add one for Twitter, and you don't need the @ sign. It's optional. So I add custom field, and now there's a TDC Twitter account that will have her name on it, and then I just update, and then I'm done. The last thing is just a little bit more trickier. If you ever go in the schedule daily creates, somewhere, someone might say, "Can I request a daily create, on, let's see, on August or July 30th, because it's, my Uncle Bernie's birthday, and I want a special daily create for him." I already have one for August 30th. So, what you can do here is just a little more tricky. Is sometimes I'll just copy all the content here, so then I can create another new daily create and do this. And then basically you have to do a manual edit of this. So you might have to copy an existing daily create from the archive to get all the formatting, etc. It's kind of beyond what I want to cover in this tutorial, but it can be done. But do it with care and make sure you get a real comfortable feel for all the moving parts of the way the daily create works. So I'm going to go back to my Hangout and unshare and see if we have any questions or comments from the peanut gallery.
I shall unmute myself now. See, I muted myself so that I didn't giggle or interrupt.
Was that painful?
It seems pretty straightforward, and of course that's always the case when you see somebody else who knows what they're doing do it. The test will be once I start doing them. I get the idea of the selecting, and I understand why the audio isn't so easy. I also imagine that I can look at old ones and I can check things, so then I could easily see if I've forgotten something.
Right.
So, if I remember, for example, there was something to do with this gallery, but I can't remember, I could look at one and that would remind me, oh, I need to get the awesome gallery plugin, that kind of thing. What happens, for example, when you said about, when it's about to run out? Presumably, can you put as many as you like?
Yeah. You can schedule out the first year, because we were going to do a calendar. I populated them from June to December.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
generally I kind of, I've kind of got it down, so I can go in and sit down, and maybe in an hour I can schedule out 2 weeks worth, and that's between kind of finding ones in the mix and then adding my own. The real trick is just finding sort of, it's like blogging, finding the daily, your daily create voice, and finding a prompt that's interesting enough to do, that's not too complex or not too, that wouldn't be out of the range. So, some of the old daily shoot ones would be like, take a picture of a spring day. Well, people in the other hemisphere, it's not spring, so you want to be sensitive about things that might have, geographical or cultural focus that don't apply to everyone. So, that's one issue, and the other is just finding ways just to sometimes put a twist on it. So, honestly, and you've seen, I've written a few of you, rewritten a few of yours. I've redone a lot of Sandy Brown Jensen Brown. So she'll submit something, and I'll change it around, and she'll be like, "That wasn't what I intended," but she's kind of nice about it. So sometimes I'll even add into the prompt, I'll say a little bit of editorial oversight. Sorry, Sandy. Because you want people to still contribute the things, but frankly, sometimes you get in there some that are just, they're not really that great, or they're just basic, like make a photo of the sky. So if I saw make a photo of the sky, I would do something like make a photo of the sky that doesn't look like the sky, or make a photo of the sky that features unusual clouds. So it's finding that angle on things. You can go back. I've done this before. Sometimes when I'm really dry on ideas, go back to a daily create, redo it with a new number, but say, hey, it's Throwback Friday. We're going to do daily create number 292. Copy the prompt, but make new, like a new Flickr thing, but just reference it as a link to say we did this in 2012. I've gone to sites like writing prompt sites. Sometimes if you just like find an unusual picture and make that a prompt for a writing site. I've done some to say like take someone's photo from Daily Create 900 and turn it into a story, or take someone's story from Daily Create 823 and create a picture or a drawing to go with it. So it's sort of remixing previous Daily Creates.
We've done sometimes where you've done the whole lot, haven't you? And you've built, like, do the audio, do the video, and then you pulled everything together. I remember that.
Yeah, I tried a couple where there was like a theme for the week and had them build on each other. I think it was when I was teaching Remix in DS106. And I try to do a mix-up and not have too many photos or videos in a row. I might have one or two videos in a week. I mean, if you know video ideas, they're fun. They're one of the easiest ones to write, because all you have to do is write the prompt. And then photos, you can go pretty simple. You can go down the color routes. Today is pink day. Make an interesting photo. The color pink. So sort of like alternating between easy ones that are open-ended and ones that are a little bit more complex.
I had a thought whilst you were doing the video and showing that the video was very easy. Would it be possible to do a video? So you turn the audio into a video, and then you say, make a video. But you also said actually often people will not do the video because it feels like more complicated. There could be a way in which you could keep it as audio and just say, make a video, but the video can just be a still photo that, I don't know how you'd have to word it right, but, so that they don't have to worry about the visual, but they use the video as a vehicle for the audio.
Yeah, it could be. Honestly, to me, the video should be stuff that you can just shoot and publish without any editing. I mean, once you get into asking people to edit the video, then it becomes more of an assignment than a daily create. So for the video ones, I try to think of ways of phrasing it that someone could just pick up, their phone or their screen, their screen camera, and just do it in one take. Some people will go to great extents to remix and add credit and title sequences and animated dogs. You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know who that would be.
But again, to keep the videos kind of sane, I tend to focus on think about how could this be done on one take, and it's just a matter of thinking about how do you phrase the prompt. So what you said, yeah, it's possible to suggest that, but you're talking about doing something like that. So in that case, you could have someone do a mashup by using your camera to shoot a picture. Use your video focused on a book, but record. Place something in the background that will be an interesting thing to go with F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Something like that sort of thing. I'm just trying to think, or even just using use your phone to record a sound or a song or something, and you could just say, well, and upload it to YouTube, and people have to work out that actually it's very easy to upload just sound to YouTube.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just thinking because I know you were saying how it's with the SoundCloud thing it's difficult to do audio. So I was just trying to think ways around that.
Well, that's why I wanted to show you is that pretty much you could make any audio prompt make it into a video and just in the way that you say it. So instead of putting your face on the camera, put a stuffed animal, or if it's like capture the sounds of nature in an audio, you could say make a video that captures the sound, but like hold your shine it to the sky or cover your camera. Just thinking about what's going to be easiest for people to capture.
The SoundCloud limitation is because they want you to pay. So if you have a paid account, then you can have as many as you want.
Only if you go to it's been a while since I looked. You had to go to like the Uber level. There was like an intermediate level, and they when I wrote them about it in 2011, 2012, they gave me like a bumped up level status on my account, which let me create 10 groups, which I quickly used up. So basically, the way I go about it, if you're really dead set on doing audio, and I don't want to talk you out of doing audio, basically I do the thing, I create a new SoundCloud account, and you do the thing in Gmail where you can say cogdogblog. My email is cogdogblog@gmail.com, and then I'm going to go to SoundCloud. I'm going to create a new account at cogdogblog plus tdc925@gmail.com. That still comes to my Gmail account, but to SoundCloud it's a new email address. So you can, and then I create a fake SoundCloud account for the sole purpose to create that one group, and then I never use it again. So I've created about 30 fake SoundCloud accounts.
Right. It's just
again,
the reason.
You can just ask someone else in the community who's never done it to create one too.
The reason I'm curious about that is because I really enjoy doing things like little adverts and the commercials and the bumpers, and I know there are a few other people who do, and it is nice to have a few of those every so often. So that's why I was asking.
Well, what you can do is if queue up a bunch of SoundCloud daily creates in advance, and then I did this one time. I put them in a Google spreadsheet and I asked people. If they've never created a SoundCloud group, to go in, pick one, make a group, and then send me a link or put the embed code in the form, and I got about 10 or 12 that way.
Right. Okay.
Hopefully I'll be able to rewrite the daily crate so we get out of this whole mumbo jumbo. But that's how it is for now. You ready to roll with this?
I think so. And the thing is, you have to try, don't you? And then
Yeah.
see where you get stuck. It all seems pretty straightforward. I imagine that the places where you would fall down would be, forgetting to add the gallery or forgetting, but then I'll soon see if those things happen, and I go, oh, I forgot that. I better go and do that sort of thing, and then you just edit and add it.
I still forget sometimes, so and people will
Mm.
let you know. Um, and
Sandy will let us know.
Sandy will let us know. Only now she knows to email you instead of me. But right, you should be able to log in to the Daily Create site. Putting /admin at the end. I made you an admin on the Daily Create, so you should be able to go in and poke around a little bit. Go ahead and try making a few. I mean, they're scheduled out now to mid-August, so there's lots of time to catch up on that. And then I will send you also the login details so you can use the Daily Create Twitter account, because sometimes you just want to add an extra encouragement or respond to someone through the Daily Create Twitter account.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good. Then I stick all that maybe in a Google Doc. Then I know I've got it all in one place. So yeah, that would make sense. And I definitely need one for a special Daily Create for me for August the 8th. So I need to put that one in.
Okay. All right.
I know what I'm asking. I'm going to ask for a get well soon card for me.
Well, as the person behind the scenes, you get some liberty to make those special ones. So
They did a lovely job. The one that we put in last minute for Christina. Everybody did lots of lovely ones, didn't they?
And that was a good example. I mean, you did, you had that really clever prompt from Pat Lockley, but it would have been hard for people to do that the way it was written. So you saw how I kind of re-engineered that. That's the part, is figuring out how you can sometimes re-rig a Daily Create, and sometimes it's just a subtle tweak, to the prompt.
Yes, I think it's that thing of making it interesting yet manageable.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. If you're set, I'm going to stop the recording.
Yep.
And so wave goodbye, Mariana.
Bye.
Say thanks for all the fish.
And thanks for all the fish.